Quantum Cognition Healing Session. This session was done on Nubia, a female about middle-aged. She was in her late 30s, close to middle age, and she just had some questions. So she had went back into a past life, to 2 past lives in this regression. But her questions was about her spiritual abilities that she's not aware of, and how can she improve the ones she is aware of? Can she develop her spiritual gifts? And what is holding her back from spiritual growth and development? So it's interesting whenever people ask this. Everybody has their own belief system and what they're taught and inflicted upon, as well as what they've developed since they've become an adult and their knowing and awareness. Majority of the people that I come across, to include Nubia, are already spiritual beings. They just want to become more aware of their abilities, how to use them, how to help people, and whether or not, they could be doing more, and how to do that. So for her spiritual abilities, she had intuition, and she could read people's energies, and she could just see the colors around them. Not only that, but she can feel other people's energy, which kept her inside a lot. She was actually fearful of going out and up to this session because she could pick up on everybody's hurt and their drama, their fear, and everything else that was going on. She would walk near them and just feel it and take it on as her own. So during this session, we asked, why does she do that? And they said she has to learn not to do this because she's supposed to be around exactly those type of people. Because whenever she goes around with her own energy, it transmutes that energy of the negativity, the fearful, the hate, the just awfulness that they are feeling and carrying with themselves. And she transmutes that energy for them and helps clear it away. She has to learn not to take that on herself. And I said, well, how can she do that? Well, she has to put a bubble of protection around her. And they gave her this beautiful golden color to put around her as protection. And they said when she goes out, she can carry a crystal if she would like. It will help transmute the energy. And I was like, oh, okay. I know a lot about crystals, but they actually wanted her to practice carrying one around until she can learn not to take other people's emotions and feelings on as her own, which I thought was very intriguing. And then she had asked, I had asked, because she was the client in this scenario, I had asked, how can she develop her spiritual gifts? And what are they? Besides for being able to see the color around people, besides for taking on their emotions, she was able to get intuitive messages. And they had said she would be good at anything she sets forth to do. The ideas and plans that she has that specifically were talked about with her is what she is supposed to do. And she just needs to have faith and take steps and start doing it. Because it was holding her back, being around people and taking on their energy. And she was actually becoming a fear. It was becoming a fear of hers, which that's not what usually that's not what they're meant for. They're meant to help not only you, but others around you, to bring light in, to bring love in, to bring awareness into a situation, to help people grow in social abilities and to deal with their emotional stressors that they have and emotional debt that they're carrying, either from this lifetime or another lifetime. But it was actually holding her back. So we help to free, and I say we, I'm just the guide in these sessions. I just ask a bunch of questions. If you've had a session with me, you know I ask a lot of questions in the interview. I ask a lot of questions during the session. But when we get to the session, when you're in a relaxed, hypnotic state, I can ask many questions because your mind cannot make up something in that state. So it tells whatever question I ask, it tells me. It cannot make anything up. So it just tells me what it sees and what it's doing and why it does that and why it chose to send the message that way. And then what was holding her back? Her fear. Her fear was holding her back. And they said she needs to release that. Stop carrying it around. It's not meant for her. It's meant for her to be out and be social and interact with people so she can transmute that energy. So I thought that was really amazing, of course. And then after the session, as it was ending, I said, well, why is it that her knees hurt? And they said, oh, that's from her potato farming. And we didn't discuss potato farming in the interview. That was not one of her questions that she had or jobs that she told me that she did. So I didn't have any follow-up questions based off that. I was just like, oh, that's something that she does. So at the end of the session, when we were doing the follow-up right after, I said, oh, and your knees hurt because of the potato farming you did. And she looked at me like I was out of this world. She said, what do you mean? I'm not a potato farmer. I said, oh, you told me that that's why your knees hurt is because you were a potato farmer from picking all the potatoes. And she goes, I don't know anything about that. And I was like, oh, I guess I should have asked more. I didn't know that they were contributing from a past life because they didn't say a past life. They just said that was from when she picked potatoes. So that was interesting enough. But that is the session, majority of the session with Nubia. I hope you enjoy. Lots of love, Amy.